We have a unique situation here on the Hudson Show. This is one of the most unique things we've ever done. We have a friend of the show, Sheena, a relationship coach, a relationship expert. And we've had her on the show before, but this is by sheer coincidence. Sheena happens to know Alex from Silent Planet, the drummer from Silent Planet. And so we now have Sheena, our relationship expert, and Alex from Silent Planet, both joining us today. Good morning. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. Just uh gloomy, rainy day in Nashville. Gonna play a good show. So, hanging out. Doing
Yeah.
laundry in the background, honestly.
Taking a break from laundry to hang out with the Hudson Show. So, we know Sheena here. She's been on the Hudson Show before. But explain you guys what you can about how you actually happen to know each other.
Sheena?
So, yeah, this is a great story. So, I discovered Silent Planet on Radio U. I remember hearing Native Blood for the first time and, like, oh my goodness, I love this band. And I saw that they were playing a show in Toledo, Ohio back in 2015. And I went up there dressed head to toe in Silent Planet gear. And I'm walking to the venue from my car, and I see Tommy, the old guitarist, and he just has his arms wide open and says, "Come here." And I'm like, of course I'm giving this man a hug. And he embraces me and he says, "I've never seen a fan dressed head to toe in our gear before. Like, this is amazing." And I'm like, "I love you guys." And so then I met their roadie, Jace, and then all the other band members. And I just really got to talking with them, and I kept going to shows, and then I started kind of low-key touring with them when they'd be in the Midwest and helping with their merch. And yeah, so I just got to build a relationship with the entire band, but me and Alex in particular just really bonded, and all these years later we still Snapchat most days, and
Wow.
we share
Still
a
homies.
lot. Exactly. And, naturally in my position, we talk a lot about relationships. So, I told him about the shows that I've done on Radio U and how fun it would be to kind of bring some of our conversations that are in between us onto Radio U, as I feel like they're very pertinent.
Yeah. No, this is a unique opportunity. I don't know how many shows get to do like relationship talk with band members, but I think there's a lot that can be learned from, just a peek into the life of being in a band like Silent Planet, but also some stuff that we can probably learn too, even if we aren't living our lives out on the road for a lot of it, like you, Alex. So let me ask you this first. Would you say being in a band and being out on the road prepares you for being in a healthy relationship? How can it help?
Communication for sure is the big thing. For us in the band, uh, I mean, I mentioned it in like the pre-show. Like, not nobody is telepathic, so you can't expect everybody to know how you're feeling or what you're thinking or whatever. So a big thing in our band is definitely like speaking up. Like, if you're not having the greatest of days, you're not there mentally, like say something to one of the guys, and then if you need anything, if you need space or whatever you need to like help you get back to like a good mental space while on tour. Is very important to us. So communication for sure is a big thing. For me, I think like the spontaneity of touring, just because every day you don't really know what you're getting into.
Yeah,
Every
right.
day is kind of like a new adventure. So in that aspect, it's helped me to be kind of. I'm the guy, I'm the person in the group that's always like, I'm down for whatever. I'm down for whatever. So I feel like that kind of spontaneity, like I really am like, if there's a spontaneous adventure to be had, I'm super down. So I think communication and just being spontaneous, and also being in a band on tour, you have to, we kind of, at least we try and look out for each other as much as possible. So that definitely helps. Like, you obviously want to look out for your partner when you're
Of
in a
course.
relationship. So um, I guess my bandmates are my boyfriends, so I get to look after them on the road.
Now, what about, obviously there's the obvious struggle of when you're out on tour, you're away from home, and you know, whether that's a partner or your family or whatever, like that's got to be tough. But outside of just like the obvious that you're away from them, not seeing them, what are the struggles that come with being out on tour and trying to make long distance relationships work for you?
Yeah. For me, oh man, that sucks because when there's problems or something, for me it's just the lack of like the being close to them. Because when I think most men, I would say, when they hear a problem, they just want to fix it right away,
Yes.
or like, or like you just want to be there. Like, I don't know, it's the worst. I feel like it sucks so hard when you're on tour and you get a call from the person you care, from like the person you're dating or you're in a relationship with, and they're having a horrible day, but you're like 3,000 miles away. So you're like, well, anything I can do to help, even though like I'll send a cheesecake your way, Uber Eats a cheesecake to you. I don't know. Like, what can I do to help? So that for me, I the man part of me is just like, I've tried to not do the whole try and fix it right away, but more so I've been trying to be intentional about being more so like, what can I do to help, even though like I'm not there, even if it's the smallest thing, like buying food, stupid dad jokes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like any little thing that could even potentially help even the slightest bit. I just want to be helpful. So that to me is very hard when you're on the road because or even in a long distance relationship, because you can't be a partner physically in person, and especially if like your love language is like physical touch or something. Like for me, like I that's like a big thing for me to just reassure, and I don't know. Um, it's something as simple as like just a hand on her shoulder or like holding hands to me is like a big thing. So not having that because of long distance is definitely a struggle. And obviously being on the road, you have to sacrifice a lot of like special days, birthdays,
Yeah.
graduations, the list goes on. Um, so that kind of sucks too, for sure.
Yeah. I guess
Trying to
that's
make sure
unavoidable.
trying to make sure you're like in constant contact to make them feel special on the day, even though you're not around, kind of vibe.
Yeah. It sounds like, going back to one of the first things you said, we're similar because I'm the type of guy that doesn't want to, like, if there's an issue going on, I don't want to go to bed with the issue not being solved, you know? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially if you're away from the other person, they could, like, me, I'm not even going to talk to you. I'm going to bed because I don't care if it's solved tonight. And then I'm
Yeah.
sitting there going, man, I wish we could solve it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Sheena, what are the kind of, when you run into these kind of issues, what is the advice that you would typically give?
Yeah, so first of all, I think that again, we really want to look at, even though most of us are not in a band that's touring, we might be in these situations, right, where we're not able to be there for a birthday or a graduation. We have a work thing or a family thing conflicts, right? Like when you have to choose between, do I go to Christmas with my partner or with my family? So you're not always able to be there. And I think we can all, resonate with that. And the typical advice I would give goes really back to what Alex is talking about, is that communication and being there and doing the things that you can. That physical touch is really important, but at the end of the day, what most of us want is knowing that person is there for us and cares about us. And really, our words and that emotional bond is going to do more than anything else that we can do. So, being able to pick up the phone and schedule that time and be on time if there's something that's keeping us away from that partner, whether we've been dating them for a month or 4 years. A lot of us end up in those long distance situations, especially going through COVID or being on online dating. Sometimes we're not all in the same vicinity, or we just have crazy work schedules. So this is something that we can all relate to regardless of the distance, because most of us do have those crazy schedules that don't allow us to always be there for everything and to always be present. So really just kind of making that time, I think, makes a big difference, even if it is kind of scheduling that and then making sure that we're giving that the same importance as we would showing up for our job. Because a lot of us, don't do that in our relationships. Like, oh, they'll understand, but our job won't understand. So we make sure
Yeah.
that we're there on time, right? But if we treat our relationship with that same importance, it makes a huge difference.
Dang, that is so true. That's so true. Um, Alex, I want to know how, 'cause, more than just relationships, being out on the road too, like that's a totally different lifestyle that I imagine has to be difficult on your mental health. How do you support your mental health when you're out on tour?
Oh man, it could be something as small as going to the gym. For me, I'm a huge nerd, so video games or Ma- Magic the Gathering. I can't believe I just said that in an interview.
Yes.
Hey, I think we're gonna have a lot of people coming in the group chat here with support for you. That's cool. You're all good.
uh, anything as small, like yeah, if as small as going, you find like I really like Asian food, so that's like a big comfort for me, like finding a good Asian food. Any little small thing, going for a walk. We're lucky that we get to travel to a different city every day, but on the bad side, sometimes we don't really have. Sometimes the venue isn't really in an area that's worth exploring. So,
Yes. Yes, I
so,
totally get that.
so I mean, you have to kind of work with what you got. If you can't really explore to get yourself mentally prepared for the day, maybe you can find a gym. Maybe like I don't know. I bought a scooter last tour
Hey,
because I was like, you know what? I want to start going around and just exploring more. And it's been awesome. It's like a little motorized scooter, and it's the best thing in the world. Catch me
dang.
scooting around.
That actually sounds awesome. Okay, I've
Yeah.
got one more for you, Alex, and that
Yeah.
is if you had to choose between the love of your life and the love of your band, which one are you picking?
Oh man. What if the love of my life is my band?
Hey, that's I think
um,
no, go ahead.
I don't know. That's a great question. I'm conflicted, man. You got me.
No, I
Uh,
already know the answer. The love of your life wouldn't make you choose between them and the band.
there you go. See,
Yeah.
you're dropping some truth bombs. It's 9:24 in the morning, and you're just dropping the knowledge on everyone right now.
Well, it's been good to talk to you. I'm glad I could share a little bit of wisdom with you too, Alex. It's been good getting to know you and Sheena. Good to talk to you again. I'm so excited we were able to do this, and I hope people learned something from this, and I hope we can do it again soon.
While you're here, you should watch more of our videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.